What is up, YouTube? It's me, Protogenius, and I am back with another fun origami and paper folding tutorial. Now today we're going to be making seaplane landing gear to go with the Cessna that I designed and folded a while back. Now, if you haven't seen that airplane tutorial yet, make sure to go back and watch that before you continue on with this, otherwise you're not going to really have anything to put it on. This is an airplane I've worked on for a long time, and I absolutely love this one, you guys, so follow right along. First off, we're going to start out with a regular sheet of 8.5 by 11 copy paper. We're going to fold it in half, both directions. We're going to fold it this way, and then we're going to fold it the long way, just like this. Just get this crease down here real good. And then we're going to open this up, and we're going to go ahead and fold right into the middle area right here, just like this. So get that good and fold in here. And then I'm going to go over and do the same thing on the other side, just like this. Now these are mostly reference folds we're doing right here. And then we're going to take and we're going to open this up here. And we're going to go ahead and fold right here from this point down to this line that we just made. Just like this. And we're going to do the same thing the other direction now. Just go ahead and fold that right on in there. Very good. So once we fold it in like this, we're going to go ahead and make a line like this. Just go ahead and push that in right here. And fold it in just like this. And there's our little house fold right here that I do in so many of my tutorials, you guys. Go ahead and push this down. Good. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to push this back and we're going to fold it the other direction just like this. And then we're going to fold back right here. Just like this. Awesome. And we're going to go ahead and fold this direction. Right here. Go ahead and push that in. Make sure the paper underneath stays pushed in all the way and doesn't kind of poke out, because if it does that, it'll make things kind of weird. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here now. Now guys, if you have to go back and rewatch parts of this to get it, that's just fine. I go kind of fast on this because it's a fairly long tutorial. Don't feel bad if you have to pause it or anything. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold back to our reference fold that we did when we folded it in half. Now I do this because I think it looks better this way. However, depending on your skill set, if you need to, you can just go ahead, or I'm going to fold this piece right here. But if you have to, you can fold back and just go to that line right there, right here to this point, because it's harder to get the cross supports in with that fold fully established on there, just depending on how long you've been doing it for. It looks better in my opinion, but it's okay if you don't fold it all the way to that reference line. So I'm just going to go ahead and crease these in like this. Just make sure to fold right into that middle line on the bottom part of this right here. And then right to our reference fold here. If you need to pull it back a little bit, that's fine though too. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these top pieces and fold them over. This helps to lock everything in place once our pontoons are shaped and attached to the airplane. It keeps things from coming undone. See how it has this little point that comes in right there? Yeah, that's what most seaplane pontoons look like. Now we're going to take and fold back from the tip right here. And I go back about 1/4 inch, just to where it has that flat look on the front of the nose, and then we're going to fold back from this point to that point right there. Just like this. Very good. And we're going to do this on both sides right here. This gives it that kind of that tipped up look on the front of the pontoon, like the front of a boat almost. And now what we're going to do, I'm going to just kind of crease this in half here, carefully. Careful not to rip the front. It will tear a little bit right here if you're not careful. And so now I'm going to go to the back here. I'm going to fold this up just to where it touches the other piece, going parallel with our center line right here. So go ahead and fold that up right there. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side right here, just like this. Very good. And now I'm going to take and make a line from here to here. Just folding along those lines that we made, so right here, and pull it back right here to that line that we just folded up, right there. And this gives it that more three-dimensional shape of our pontoon, makes it look a lot better. You know, we could do it without having that fold in there, but I find it looks better, and it actually works better when locking our cross beams and our support parts into the pontoon. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and do this right here. Fold it right across this area, straight across to those 2 points, just like that. Looks really good now. Awesome, awesome. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip this over. Now, because of time restraints here, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and make another one of these and just jump ahead. So we'll have 2 of them. And I'm just going to kind of set this off to the side. And I'm going to make another one. So if you need to pause right here, we'll make our second one now. So we're going to need 2 pieces of paper now, depending on the colors that you want. Now the airplane I'm using is blue, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a blue piece of paper for the main supports that go up from the pontoons, and then I'm going to grab a yellow piece of paper to make the supports that go between everything to hold the pontoons together in the middle. So I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm just going to fold it in half, or fold it into a square shape right here, just like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold up from the bottom right here. Just fold this piece upwards. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that. Afterwards, I'm going to pull open the other piece that we folded across. And I'm going to use this to establish this line right here. I'm not going to cut that line yet. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this up and I'm going to cut along the top of that line that we just folded over, so that we can have 2 pieces of paper that are the same size to make our our cross beams here. Sorry, my camera's a little washed out right at the second. Here, I'll fix it here and as soon as I get done with these cuts. So I got one here. I'm going to work on my second one here. Just fold that backwards right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half. Just like this. Go ahead. Just be sure to be careful on this, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can kind of hide it if you mess up a little bit on the cutting, but just don't mess it up too much if you're going fast on it. So we're gonna go ahead and use this piece right here now as a reference to make our next 2 support pieces. Now, normally I don't use scissors. I don't like using scissors. I don't like cutting things when it comes to making airplanes or any of my origami, but I do make an exception when it comes to mechanical things or something that is legitimately built that way in real life. And so a seaplane would really have little supports that hold the pontoons on like this. And so that's why I don't feel bad about doing this with this airplane. So yeah, so I just made one line down and I'm going to make my second line right here. And so this paper is 8.5 by 11, so this will be an 11-inch long piece of paper when it's done. So I'm just going to go right here. Just go ahead and draw a line right here. And I'm not trying to make the line too strong, just in case, or too thick, just in case you see that when these little beams are rolled up afterwards. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this in half right here. Awesome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our longer pieces and fold these in half, just like this. Just go ahead and do a good job on this right here. We don't want to be too quick on it, you know, make it look good. Let's just push this down right here. Awesome. Now we're going to go ahead and take it from there. Here we're going to open this up a little bit, and we're going to fold this back the other direction, just like this. Just like this. Now these are just reference folds. We're really not going to actually follow this line too much later. We're really going for this next fold right here. Do this. I'm going to fold that over one more time, just like that. Go ahead and crease this down. Just nice and neat right here. Very good. Go ahead and crease that, and then we're going to take and open it up, and we're going to just fold back on that end piece right there, just rolling it backwards on itself from that last fold that we had done. Just keep rolling it up nice and gently here, like this. Very good. Now we're just going to take and roll over the last little edge right there. It doesn't have to line up perfectly, just as long as it can overlap and make everything look pretty uniform here. And so now that we've made this one, I'm just going to go ahead and speed up to do our next one. Here we go, and fold it in half, just like we did on the other one. Awesome. Now we're going to fold that back the other direction here. And we're going to fold it back one more time right here. And then we're going to open that up and roll it back on itself. 1, 2, oh, look at that, 3, and fold it. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other, on the yellow pieces here, but I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to do something a little bit different right here. Instead of folding it back completely like we did on the other one, we're actually going to make these a little bit wider on here, just because it kind of solidifies things to where the pontoons don't move around as much. So I'm going to fold that in half, and then I'm going to go ahead and fold this piece to where it kind of makes a third in it. So it's not going to fold right to the center line, but it's going to fold to where it kind of doubles over in half right here, to where it'll end up being 2 folds or 3 sections before it gets into the middle. So we're going to do 1 fold, and then it'll fold again. We're going to roll it in on itself, and it should match up right with the center right here, just like that. It's just kind of a little bit of guesswork here, but if you do it, just take your time on it, it'll look good. Just going to go ahead and fold that over right now, just like that. And we're going to go ahead and roll the rest of it over. Just keep going like this. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Just like that. So that we folded that piece, we're going to go ahead and speed up for the next one as well. Once I get this all creased good. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump ahead on this next one here. So I'm going to go ahead and fold over 1. And fold it over again, just like that. And we're going to fold it over just like this, rolling it up and getting it over into the middle area. Just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the end of this right here, and we're going to cut 1 inch off of this piece here. So it was 8.5 inches, now it's 7.5 inches. And then we're going to go ahead and take that other piece that we just cut off and use it as reference to make the other piece the exact same. So I'm going to hold this up right here, and I'm going to go and make the scissors match up right here and cut this off. Just like this. Right here. Sorry, I'm just trying to make it look good. There we go. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and look at these, make sure that they're the same length. If we need to cut a little bit off of the one or the other to make them match, it's okay. And I got it right the first time, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this piece. Now we're going to go ahead and there's going to be a piece. The 2 outside pieces are going to be the blue ones, and then the middle ones are going to be the yellow. And so we're going to go ahead and put one in right up to the first overlap fold on the pontoon, and then we're going to put one on the second overlap fold. Now I'm going to take this longer piece, I'm going to fold this right in half, just gently here, make sure it gets folded right in half right there. Very good. Now this is for the back part of the pontoon. Now the front part, we're going to actually take this other piece right here, and we're going to cut this in half. And I'm going to use the piece we folded in half as a reference to see how long the other piece needs to be. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and put my thumbnail on this and hold it in place. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the other side so I can let go of the doubled over piece here. And I'm going to take my scissors and very carefully make sure to go right along that line that I worked so hard to keep marked here. And I'm going to just cut this right in half right here. Very good. And I'm going to make sure that they're cut right in half, and it looks like we're spot on, so we can go and move ahead now. So I'm going to take my scissors and just put those off to the side now. And I'm going to grab my pontoon here, and this part right here is going to end up going into the back, like I said here, and this is going to go into the middle area. So we're going to fold back our sides on this to where the pontoon, the yellow pieces will go on one side of the pontoon and the blue will go on another side. So I'm going to unfold my locking folds here, and then I'm going to unfold this doubled over fold right here. We're not unfolding the whole thing, just part of it. I know we worked so hard to get it there, but and now we're undoing it. It's going to look a little bit ugly here for a second, but don't worry about that. That's fine. We're just getting the paper put, or the supports slid into the pontoon, and then we should be good from there. So now I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to grab one of my yellow pieces, and I like to make sure that my fold is pointed down when I do this, but I'm going to push this in, and then I'm going to double it over the other direction once it's in the right place. So like I said, it goes right up to the fold that overlaps on the back right here, and then I'm going to push this up to where it meets up with the fold that overlaps in the front. And make sure to push them all the way up into that. Just like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this area right here, and I'm going to very carefully fold back the paper. Oh, sorry, let me fix the nose here. And I'm going to fold this back to that same line again to where it locks our cross beams in place. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this area up at the front here, up at the top, and I'm going to reestablish my folds with those pieces in there now. And so, works pretty good here. And we'll just reestablish our other folds as we go along here. So I'm going to double over our locking fold, and that right there will hold that in place really well now. And so I'm just going to take that and fold these over now. 1 and 2, just like that. Very good. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the other side pieces in now. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the back piece right here. And like I said, I'm going to slide it right up to this back fold right here, like that. Sorry if my hand's in the way for a second here. I'm going to push this up inside right here, just like that. Make sure it goes all the way inside to where it pushes up against the other end, or the where the paper doubles over. I'm just going to hold it here like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in my other piece here in a second. Make sure it goes all the way in. All right. So jumping ahead here a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and take our other side right here. This might throw you guys off a little bit here, but it's okay. So we're going to take this and we're going to flip this piece over, just like, so put this one over here, and then flip this over, and then I'm going to push this in this direction. Now look at the pontoon that has the stuff inside of it already is upside down at this point as I'm doing this. Make sure you put it together this direction. Otherwise your pontoons might be oriented weird. So I'm just going to take this and double it over like this. Making sure to hold our cross beams in all the way, and don't let them slide back, otherwise they won't line up very well. It'll kind of make the pontoons toe in or toe out a little bit from each other if we don't get those pieces in just right. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this piece underneath and lock it just like that, and very carefully I'm going to fold this over the other direction just like this. So now they're both the same direction. Just like that. And now that now the yellow cross beams are both on the inside of the pontoon, or they're folded into the sides of the pontoon that face each other, leaving the outside one so we can put our other blue supports in there. Just like this. We're gonna go ahead and open this up really carefully here. Just careful not to tear anything. Now, it might take a little bit of patience to get this these parts in here, you guys. I know editing makes it look a lot easier sometimes, but it did take me a little bit of time to get these in place just right. And so I'm going to go ahead and fold this over like this. All right, make sure it's pushed in all the way. And go ahead and crease this over right here. Just like that. Very nice. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and make sure everything's in the right, make sure it's all lined up right with those lines that we made before, and I'm going to double this over. And then I'm going to go ahead after that and I'm going to kind of reestablish all my folds again, because it did get looking a little bit sloppy at the end, but just going to make sure everything goes back to where it was before. Just like this. Very good. All right. And so once I get that all lined up, and oh, I gotta push this piece back in here. It came out a little. Now right here is where it gets a little bit messy if where it's okay to pull it back that line a little bit if you haven't done it very much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put our locking piece back over the top right here. Fold that over, and then I'm gonna reestablish my folds here, like on the other side. All right, it's looking good. Awesome, awesome. Now our pontoons are all lined up and ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab our airplane here. Just go ahead and straighten this out a little bit. So this is the blue airplane that I made already. Now, normally the bottom of it looks like this, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna change this just a little bit. We're gonna pull this back right here. We're gonna fold it a little bit more forward along this area. And that just moves our slot up a little bit so that the front supports can go into the bottom of the airplane like it's supposed to. Just like this. Awesome. Looks so good. Awesome. So now we're going to go ahead and take this right here, and we're going to push the supports in, and the other one's going to go underneath the back area. So this piece right here is going to go up underneath this locking area. And it should go pretty well, but we're going to pull this piece out right here. And that'll go up under there, and then we're going to pull these out again really carefully. Now it's going to go up in this area, and I've tried to do it with the airplane completely intact, but we're actually going to pull it apart because I've discovered it's a lot easier to kind of put it in this way with this piece right here. Just kind of slide it in, and then the way that we get this to look even is we actually lock this back piece right here up under this fold right on the back area. And then we kind of look at where the bottom of the airplane area right here will be when it's folded up inside. So if you need to mark it, that's fine. A little bit of trial and error might be in order if you are trying to get it to sit completely level on here. It might take a little bit of work on it, but for the most part, it's all right. So we're going to take a look at this area right here. Now we're going to fold. We did the one fold on the one side, and we're just going to make another fold to match the one that we got the measurements on it from. So I'm going to go ahead and take this now, and we're going to go ahead and slide this up inside of here, just like this. And I'm actually going to end up pulling the top wing off here after I get this piece put in, so that I'm able to do things without it getting in the way. So I'm going to push this up now. It's locked in there. It looks good. Just making sure everything is measured to the right height of where it needs to be. And I'm going to pull the top off now. Now, when this goes up inside of here, it needs to lock backwards into it. And we're going to push the tail up inside of here, just like this. And so be really careful when you put it back in there, because you got to kind of let it slide in. You got to undo your locking fold enough to let the tail slide back in, but don't let the little pieces come out again. And we're just going to do that. And notice how long these supports are on this airplane. It's okay, you can make them shorter if you want. I just made them taller so that it was easier to show you guys in the video. Now I'm going to push this piece back up inside really carefully here, because it can come undone if you're not careful with it. Sorry, I'm going to get this in here really quick. And it's fighting with me a little bit. Okay. I'm going to push this up and make sure that our locking fold from the bottom area gets up and over it. Alright, and now it's in there. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of make sure everything looks all lined up like it's supposed to. And then we're going to be able to grab our top wing here and flip this around. And we're going to put it back onto the airplane now. So slide the two top tabs in. We'll fold our wing over, and then we're going to go ahead and lock these pieces back up into the wing. There's one support, and then our other support. And now our airplane is done. Now, normally I would do a flight test on these airplanes, but I think that a float test is in order for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the water. And it floats! Alright, I'm going to be honest with you guys here. I did not think that it was going to float because of the weight of the airplane, but it looks like it's a success. Now, let's be honest, this is a paper airplane, so it's not made to handle water for very long. Notice how the back of the pontoons start to unravel a bit once the water's gotten into them. So if you're going to play with it in the water, you could hit it with like a sealer of some kind or something to keep the water from getting in there. But remember, it is a paper airplane, so it's mostly for looks here. But it floats. Well, thanks so much for watching my videos, you guys. I really appreciate you watching these. So make sure to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe on my videos. On the right here, you can hit the subscribe button so you can keep up to date with my other videos. On the left here, you're going to have some more of my other origami and things that I'm working on. Then on the bottom right, there's my Cessna landing gear for the other Cessna. And then on the left, there is a link here to the actual Cessna airplane that this came from. So go ahead and check them out, and we'll see you guys next time.